Sports, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, Ismail Maalim, dignitaries present, head of missions, ambassadors, CEOs, partners from KIW, AfCFTA, Presidential Innovation Award. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Perfect. So my name is George Masila. I'm the communications lead at the Kenya National Innovation Agency. I'll be taking you through this morning's program. So just to make a call again, for those who are still outside, please step in. We want to get started with our program. All right? Okay. So I know most of you know why we are here, but just to let you know is that today we'll be doing three bold things. Mambo ni mangapi? Matatu. The first thing we're going to do today is celebrate a team of 30 innovators that have been part of a program we call the Presidential Innovation Award, and also unveil or make a call for innovations for the next cohort. And at the same time, we'll make three bold announcements around the Kenya Innovation Week Africa edition and also the Africa Free Trade Continental Area Youth Symposium, which all are coming up in November 25th to 29th of November. So, ladies and gentlemen, I see we are now settled. Let's all kindly arise for the national anthem.
Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, ndoa tupate na ustawi. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you so much. You can have your seat. And now we'll have a word of prayer just to start off this in the best way we know possible. So let's believe and pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the blessing of this beautiful day. We thank you for the blessing of everyone who is here. We pray as we undertake this program that you're going to be with us from top all the way till the end. We pray for good health, for sound minds and deliberations, so that, dear God, as we continue to build our nation, you will always be with us in all the steps we undertake. And it is in Jesus' name we pray, trusting and believing. Thank you. Right. So again, very pleased and privileged to have the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, who is the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, Mr. Ismail Maalim, Head of Missions, Ambassadors, dignitaries present, CEOs, partners from the Kenya Innovation Week, the Presidential Innovation Award, and also the Africa Free Trade Continental Area. So once again, allow me to take you through this program. So I mentioned the three things that we are doing today, and one of the best ways to set the stage is to hear what has been happening for the last 8 or so months when we had this team of 30 innovators from 30 different counties go through a presidential innovation challenge and award program where they got a chance to get their skills and their technical capacities to commercialize the innovations honed, and also got access to so many opportunities around market and investment. So to tell that story, we have prepared a highlight video for the Presidential Innovation Award Program. This is something that was done within the evaluation period. But just before we do that, I will let the innovators, the top three innovators who have been part of this journey, tell us about their stories from when they got into this program up to the point that they are right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to call to stage Agritech Analytics from Kiambu County. Agritech Analytics, kindly come forward. Tell us, what has this journey been like for you? I know there has been so much that you've gained from this program, but it's best that it comes from the horse's mouth. Karibu.
that we are using is soil degraded. So us as a company came up with a solution that uses AI-powered satellite imagery data analytics and data from our IoT sensor to halt and reverse soil degradation, crop pests, and diseases. So how our solution works is that we install an IoT device in the farm. It conducts ground level and root level analysis for soil health inputs and also crop pest and disease detection. And we also electronically map the farm with satellite so that satellite data starts streaming in. The data is analyzed and interpreted, and the farmer receives a simple alert on their mobile phone telling them the condition of their soil, type of fertilizer and quantities to use, the amount of water that the crops require, and all that. So on that photo, you will see two devices. The small one was our version 1, but we were able to reiterate and make it better to the version 2. And what we have achieved through PIA, the Presidential Innovation Award, is that we have been able to stretch our diseases and pest detectable from 65 pests to 125, from 59 diseases to from 59 diseases to 120. We've also been able to help over 2,000 farmers increase or reduce their farm input costs by 65% because we are using targeted solutions. So the fertilizer and the pesticides they are using are targeted. We've also been able to create jobs. When we came here, we were 8. Now we are 12 full-time employees in our company, and 60% of these are women. We also have people who come occasionally when we are having onboarding seasons or trainings. We have 20 people who come occasionally. We've also been able to double crop yields for these farmers. And when we project the impact that we have, we can confidently say that we feed over 400,000 people. So we have onboarded close to 3,000 farmers. So when we joined, we were at 4,000 farmers. Now we have 7,980 active farmers on our dashboard. When I say active, there are farmers who are already onboarded, but they are not using our innovation right now. There are 11,000. But this is because we are a seasonal country where there are people who are relying on rains. So the ones who are not farming actively right now are not active. So the active ones are 7,900. The ones who are on our platform are 11,800. We are looking to grow this to over 780,000 monthly. We work with these farmers on a monthly pay as you earn, pay as you go. So they only pay a leasing model to use our devices. On our potential to scale, we are looking to be able to perform over 1 million on-site tests on-site. We are looking to extend our disease and pest detectable to over 5,000 each. We have a mobile application called Farm Pulse that has just been approved on Play Store. This mobile application will be used to be able to get to more counties and also do our market research. So on this, we are looking to increase crop yields by over 85%. We understand that yes, the farmer could have the inputs, they could have the fertilizer, but without the information of how to adapt to climate right now, then the success rate of these seeds will be less than 50%, which is what is affecting most smallholder farmers. And I want to let this house know that without supporting smallholder farmers, there is no way we are going to achieve zero hunger, because smallholder farmers feed over 80% of the population. So those are the conditions of the farms before the farmers are using our innovation. Those are the beautiful smiles on their faces when they have experienced what Agritech offers. Thank you, Presidential Innovation Award. Thank you, Kenya, for implementing this. You can join us as we end hunger in Kenya and Africa. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Marianne, and thank you for giving us a shout out. We've not paid her. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next person I want to call on stage is a young gentleman who's done a lot for his age, Mr. Eli Savatia, who is the CEO of Signverse. I mean, everybody walked in here and they just felt comfortable. But assume you had a disability or you are not a normal person, then how many challenges would you experience? So this guy, he's addressing people with disabilities. So Eli Savatia, karibu.
All protocols observed. Good morning. My name is Eli Savatia. I am the founder and CEO of Signverse. And I'll give you a short story. 4 years ago, I was training robotics and STEM with an organization called Young Scientists Kenya. And we traversed through, northern Kenya, western Kenya, and I had my first time interaction with students from the deaf community. And through this interaction, we only had one sign language interpreter. So in these interactions, it proved that the ratio for interpreters to persons living with hearing disability was not ideal. And we were heavily reliant on exchanging, notes, paper. And that was very frustrating at that point. And this was my introduction to the world of sign languages. And we started doing research to understand the root cause, which is communication barriers. And we set out to build a startup that would make the world more accessible to the deaf community. So communication barriers are the number one challenges that deaf people face. They're heavily reliant on sign language for their daily communication needs, be it accessing healthcare, education, and even social participatory. And two, there's a high cost, it's very expensive. And three, there's less that has been done to create technologies or platforms that can onboard them into accessing the world. So let me show you what we've built. We've built a digital sign language interpreter. So think of this like a Google Translate or Copilot for sign language. And our software is able to interpret text and speech to sign language and sign language to text and speech, making communication very seamless and these interactions between the deaf community and pretty much everyone. and it's working. So we've proven text speech to sign language. And so this is the progress that we've had with PIA. When we started working on this, so ideally AI, such kind of projects are resource intensive. So we were stuck. And through PIA, we received mentorship and grants, 3.5 million Kenya shillings that we invested in our technology infrastructure. So we were able to get motion capture systems, and we also invested in very powerful local infrastructure and very high performance computers that can enable us to train and render locally. And we've also built the largest motion capture data set for African Sign Language systems, and we've also built an improved automatic speech recognition system for this as well. And so in terms of motion capture, we have the largest mock-up system. And with this technology, we're able to collect sign language to its precision, like with a lot of precision. And how we do this is we're working with a group of close to 30 deaf people who come to our office. They wear this system. When they wear this system, they're able to sign. And how they sign, we're able to collect all that data, then train our AI and also use that for, the animation tool. And yeah, so the same tool is also unlocking sustainability for us because we don't have to pay animators to design animations for us. We have now a plug and play solution that we can use in real time for that. And we have 10 full-time employees right now. This is the team comprising of both the hearing and deaf people. And the deaf people basically help us in collecting sign language data and just making sure that our solution is specifically inclined to cater for their specific needs. And we're targeting to have over 5,000 onboarded on our platform using it for their communication needs. Next slide. So this is the current team. Young people, very brilliant with expertise across AI, computer vision, data science, and also within deaf people, also within the team. And we have an all-deaf signers team as well that collects the sign language data. And we are really grateful for the support that we've received from the Presidential Innovation Award. It's unlocked our technology infrastructure, and now we're able to pump animation data faster than anyone in the country. And we have the only motion capture systems in East, Central, North, and Western Africa that powers our technology. And we are totally grateful for that, and we hope that this initiative gets to continue to support more innovators within the country. If you can just play for me that short video, please, Eric. There's a video. Quick one. Eric, is that? Oh. Okay, apologies for that. They're sorting some technical issues. Oh yeah, so this is the motion capture system. As you can see, uh, it's a plug and play solution. So when it comes to creating animations, it's a plug and play. Like literally, this is real time. She's wearing this suit. She's making motion. So this is how we collect sign language data. So we have this quantum mock-up gloves, and again, it's an honor because these same motion capture systems are used in Marvel movies for VFX. So we're able to even broaden the business and be able to still as well market for the creative economies, talk of animations and all that. And so thank you so much, Pia, and thank you to the stakeholders who made this possible for us. Really appreciate that.
Right. Thank you so much, Eli. At least, Waziri, one thing that the CEO will talk about later today is how this program has actually worked in terms of creating jobs. We've just seen a team of 10 who work with Eli Savatia. Most people know Eli, but you may not know about the rest of the 9. So great job you're doing right there. So again, when you hear about AI, don't just think about ChatGPT. Think about people like Eli Savacho doing good things at Signverse. Okay? All right. So the last person to make a presentation about their journey with us is one person from Makueni County. He is the CEO of he's the CEO of BioAfric Energy, one Mr. James Nyamai. And let's welcome him and with a loud applause, James, please come on stage.
Thank you. All protocols observed. My name is James Namai, and good morning, everyone. My name is James Namai. I'm the founder and CEO of BioAfric Energy Limited. Sometimes, sorry. In 2017, I actually saw my mother lose about 50 tons of pumpkins because of post-harvest losses. So a situation where she had met a group of people who entered into a contract with her to purchase pumpkin seeds from them and then plant for them. And after that, they would purchase the pumpkins after they were ready. But these people disappeared when the pumpkins were ready. And so she realized that she was not just alone, but there were also several other farmers who had actually been misled into the same kind of an agreement. This, therefore, she decided to try and dry the pumpkins to make pumpkin flour because the market was already flooded with the pumpkins. But this failed because she was relying on traditional solar dryers that proved to be technically unreliable during the rainy and the cold season. When we researched deeper, we realized that Kenya loses approximately 33% of its annual produce, amounting to billions of US dollars annually. This is largely because the smallholder farmer doesn't have the technical equipment that can be able to dehydrate effectively and throughout the year without being affected by weather issues. Technical know-how on how to dehydrate different types of farm products, and also access to finance to be able to acquire this kind of equipment. On top of that, to realize that out of all that goes to waste, 55% could actually be salvaged through proper dehydration practices. But this is basically not achieved because of the challenges that the smallholder farmers face. This led us to develop what we call a hybrid solar dryer. A hybrid solar dryer is a technology that can be able to dehydrate throughout the year without being affected by weather patterns, and so enhances the farmer's ability to be able to salvage their food and reduce post-harvest losses. So how this works is that it comes equipped with what we call a biomass burner. And a biomass burner is meant to generate the heat that is required to dry during the rainy and the cold season. And this makes use of recycled agricultural waste. It's a gasifier technology that ensures zero carbon dioxide emissions to the atmosphere. So the farmers can be able to recycle the waste that they have at the farm and use that as part of the energy source to dehydrate the farm products. On top of that, it's also powered by solar technology. And solar technology, sustainable energy to be able to reduce the post-harvest losses. But the interesting part is that it's also able to control the dehydrating temperatures automatically for the farmer, equipped with a technology whereby it will be able to automatically stop the temperatures whenever they go high, and when they go down, it can be able to start again, and also be able to notify the farmer on the phone whenever the temperatures go down. We also offer training to farmers to be able to assist them with the know-how that they require to reduce post-harvest losses and get to know how they can dehydrate different types of farm products so that it's power to them, giving back power to them to be able to handle that post-harvest losses. So far since we started, we have actually installed our dryers in about 25 counties in Kenya. And the interesting part is also after the Presidential Innovation Award, we were also able to get a lot of traction, and several organizations noticed our impact. And we are now dealing with communities living in arid and semi-arid lands in Kenya, in Laikipia, and also the Maasai, who we are also empowering with our technology to be able to reduce the losses after they have been able to go through different trainings with the organizations that we are working with. We have so far impacted about 6,560 farmers in the country and have reduced post-harvest losses by up more than 5,000 tons of food that have been salvaged because of our intervention. And we have created job opportunities after the Presidential Innovation Award. We have actually added 7 direct jobs and 35 indirect jobs along the value chain, where you find the farmers have got to hire somebody in the dehydration process to actually reduce the losses. We have 5 main priorities for this year and the next 2 years for us to be able to increase our growth. One of them is on the new innovations that we are working on to reduce post-harvest losses for new products, which is one, black soldier fly, and 2, to help farmers reduce post-harvest losses, especially with cereals in Kenya. We are also opening a new fabrication plant to enhance our production capacity by the end of this year, and that is basically meant to help us with the increased demand for our innovation. We are developing an online platform because we have realized there's also a challenge with the farmers where they have the dehydrated products but require access to market, where we can actually link them up with markets, agricultural processors who are actually looking for the dehydrated products. And this is something that we are currently working on in partnership with the University of Nairobi that came on board after the Presidential Innovation Award. And we are registering now our patent with the African Patent Organization, ARIPO, and that is something that is meant to help us now explore other markets outside the country. We have already signed an agreement with an organization that we are now crossing the borders to start installations in Uganda. And this is actually a positive thing for us and confidence that has been created by the Presidential Innovation Award. Through this, we have established various strategic partners who have actually worked with us in this journey to make this a success. And the partners are actually quite knowledgeable in different parts that we need: capacity building support, IP support, market access, and linking us to the farmers that we work with. As the founder and the CEO, I'm supported by a very competent team that is comprised of people who have knowledge in different areas that are very critical for the success of our innovation and our business, including social entrepreneurship, fabrication, engineering, and all that, to be able to actually make this a success for the farmers. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, reducing the world's post-harvest loss by just 50% could help feed an extra 1 billion people without increasing the current food production capacity. And I'm glad that we began this journey, and I'm glad to have partnered with the Kenya National Innovation Agency to actually push this to the next level. And that is what we aim to achieve. So partner with us and join us in this journey as we enhance food security for Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nyamai. I'm so amazed by the numbers that Nyamai is pulling. I think if we continue doing this for the next 10, 20 years, the country is just going to change from bottom up. But one thing that I've also realized is that most of these innovators, the 30 of them, got a chance to go to the State House na wakasalimia mkubwa. So if you want to salimia mkubwa in the right way, please innovate, okay? To the young people and all the innovators and researchers in the room, please do that. So I told you we only are going to have 3 presentations this morning, but we have a team of 30 innovators that have similar success stories to the 3 that you witnessed today. And there is no better way to do this than highlighting their journey through this video that is going to give you a look into what is happening on ground. These are actual innovators. You've seen from Nyamai's presentation on how he's able to rally a team behind himself. So please, let's have the video so we just see what was happening during that period.
Innovation is the heartbeat of progress. Across Kenya, countless visionaries are working tirelessly to shape a future driven by creativity and problem solving. The Presidential Innovation Awards is proud to play a pivotal role in discovering and nurturing these game changing ideas, transforming them into realities that uplift communities and drive sustainable development.
Our technology is actually an innovation that can be able to dry throughout the year. Currently, the traditional solar dryers are not able to dry for 6 months in a year during the rainy and the cold season. And so this is actually 6 months downtime in a year, which is half a year of downtime for the farmer, that they cannot be able to dehydrate their product. Secondly, the solar dryers take longer periods of time to be able to dehydrate different types of products. So our innovations actually provide the farmers are able to dry their product faster, up to 3 times faster compared to traditional solar dryers. And also on top of that, they can dehydrate throughout the year, including at night. So they are not limited by weather, and they do not have to wait for 6 months before they can be able now to start drying again, so they can reduce the service losses during that time.
A wave of innovation is sweeping through, powered by young and brilliant minds determined to solve local challenges with global potential. The Presidential Innovation Awards, PIA, is at the forefront of this movement, discovering, supporting, and scaling groundbreaking solutions from every corner of the country. Innovation is the heartbeat of progress. The Presidential Innovation Awards were established to champion this spirit by recognizing Kenya's most promising innovators. But beyond recognition, the journey continues through monitoring and evaluation, an essential process to ensure these innovative ideas thrive and deliver long-lasting impact in Kenya. The Presidential Innovation Awards is more than just an accolade. It is a commitment to fostering an environment where innovation can flourish. Through grants, mentorship, and national recognition, PIA is bridging the gap between potential and impact.
So the support that we've received from Kenya has been very instrumental in our mobile application development and our on our dashboard. So the mobile application is up. Just a few more finishing tips, but using the app, you can be able to actually scan the crop leaves, and it gives you the pest disease affecting the crop. It also has a fertilizer calculator and cultivation tips for the farmer. So this means that we can be able to scale even to areas where we have not distributed our devices yet. The farmers are able to use the mobile application, and in return, we are able to get data on our dashboard to be able to know where to move next, depending on the demand.
So for the grants that we received from the award of the Presidential Innovation Award 2024, the grant has really helped us in renewing the three KEBS products, that is mixed spices, tea masala, and pilau masala. And also we were on the look for onboarding other products, that is the 12 products. The grant was used to do the retesting with KEBS, and now we can confirm that we have 3 approved products, and still we have the 9, they're going to be done for retesting. For the 3 products, we have the permit, so very soon they will be out in the market. We have also been able to do the packaging to process the pouch, the packaging pouch, that is the sachet, which were on demand by the time since we had acquired the DRC market through the connection that we made throughout the mentorship program.
Before Kenya, I got the funds from Kenya. I used to have some problems whereby I could, there's some schools could order the machines, but on my case, I could not have maybe the funds to make the gadgets. So I went ahead and bought what was a problem to me, this engraving machine for engraving the gadgets, because it took me a lot of time to engrave the gadgets as I was in the process of making it. And I also bought some 30 components for each for making different gadgets. So so for now I've read about 30 components for each gadget to enable me to make about 30 gadgets.
Through their rigorous monitoring and evaluation process, PIA doesn't just recognize innovation, it ensures that these ideas are sustainable and scalable. By visiting innovators and engaging with them directly, the PIA team provides ongoing support, helping these enterprises grow stronger, more resilient, and ready to tackle the challenges of tomorrow.
So sign language is very diverse and also has a lot of variations. And how we are tackling this is we want to, and we are collecting as much diverse sign language data. We're also having conversations with the different stakeholders. Just recently, we've initiated conversations with the Uganda National Associations for the Deaf, and we're looking at possible opportunities for scale and presence, as well as South Africa as well. So with sign language being diverse, even the group that you're working with is very diverse, of course, from different communities and different cultures. And we are still pursuing that kind of approach with regards to collecting data.
Imagine a Kenya where every bright idea is given the chance to succeed. A Kenya where local solutions inspire global change. The Presidential Innovation Awards is making this vision a reality, one innovation at a time.
Right. Thank you so much for that. I mean, it's indeed brilliant. And all these things are happening on ground from across 30 different counties. So, like I mentioned, these innovators have not walked this journey alone. They've been working with a brilliant team of mentors, coaches, and people who are actually in the industry. So basically, this is the innovators getting connected to the industry, getting connected to mentors and people who can hold their hands all the way to commercialization. And to give us the perspective of the experience and the journey that they've gone through, we are privileged to have Yvonne Jerry, who was a peer technical mentor during this process. Yvonne Jerry, kindly come and say a word. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here and to see everybody. So to the CS Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, the PS Youth Affairs, all CEOs, ambassadors, innovators, and all of us who are supporters of the innovation ecosystem, good morning. My name is Yvonne Jerry. I have been working with startups within the technology field, payments, for close to 10 years now. But one of the things that has been so exciting for me is being part of the team that was working and walking with these young innovators in this Presidential Innovation Awards program. I think it was so good, and it's so good to see so many of them here doing such great works. I just want to share a quick perspective of what that journey looked like for me. So I saw quite a lot of remarkable growth. So the team that started off and the team that ended, you could see there was a shift in their mindset. Their approach to problem solving and to innovation was sharpened. And so what this did is it allowed them to take on challenges with renewed creativity and confidence. And you've seen even from the video, all of us can attest to how much growth there has been. There's reports of about 50% growth in jobs, and that's just the direct jobs that have been created. I want to share with you one of the most powerful insights that I gained, and this is about the compounding effect of investing in these innovators. Sometimes when we're doing this work, we think, okay, this startup is really creative. They've now employed 10 people. We actually don't see the bigger picture of the impact that it has made within the ecosystem. So how has it impacted the people who work with this startup? How has it impacted the suppliers? How has it impacted the customers? So the customers now are able to progress due to something or the new product that they've seen. So by equipping them with the right skills and knowledge, they have actually been able to accelerate growth and scale of their products. And for me, growth and scale and commercialization is something that I'm really excited about, because I don't believe as Africans we can solve any problem without being able to accelerate it and to grow it and to ensure continuity. So we've created a lot of opportunities for collaboration, for partnerships, for market expansion. And as we've seen these businesses grow, and indeed as I have seen these innovations grow, it's very clear that their impact has grown beyond their individual success stories. The entire ecosystem has benefited. We've seen from agri-tech analytics that had the growth of over 50%, as she mentioned, but we've seen, the farmers have also been impacted. Input suppliers have also been impacted. Technology providers have also been impacted. And so this inclusive growth is also around sustainability. And this is something that we've been talking about a lot, even as Kenyans. How do we ensure sustainability? How do we ensure growth around climate change and conservation of our environment? How do we ensure inclusive growth? So companies like Signvas that have come up with solutions that are impacting people who are abled differently. That is incredible. And even things around piquant spices. I'm sure all of us try and eat every day, isn't it? So not only have these direct jobs been created, but there has also been a ripple effect throughout the supply chain, the marketing organizations, the finance support systems, the innovation, IP support systems, and all the industries that come around these entrepreneurs. So to me, as one of the trainers and coaches, it's very clear that investing deeply in the quality of training for innovators through the Presidential Innovation Awards will drive even greater levels of growth and impact. The ripple effect of such investment will not only be felt in Kenya's economy, but also resonate across the broader African continent. We've heard of those who want to go into our neighbors, our neighboring countries, or even into Southern Africa. And what this will do is that it will contribute to the sustainable development and prosperity of the African continent, which I know most of us are so passionate about. So if we say that we're targeting over the next 5 years, I wouldn't even go as far as my colleague said 20 years. Just look really closely into the next 5 years, Waziri, and you'll see that investing in hundreds of thousands of these beneficiaries will then be able to create more than 5 million jobs, more than, in my view, within the ecosystem. If we're looking around the ecosystem that actually supports innovation and the entrepreneurs. So my call to you, as someone who has worked closely with these innovators, is let's work together. Let's partner together. Let's continue to invest in these brilliant ideas and brilliant concepts that are being executed. And let's work together to achieve this dream. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Yvonne, for always being part of the Kenya partners and for the ecosystem. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome the CEO of the Kenya National Innovation Agency, Dr. Tony Omwansa, who's done a brilliant job putting some of these things together. And then let's hear from him in the context of the Presidential Innovation Award. He's going to talk about KIW. He's also going to talk about the AfCFTA Youth Symposium. Dr. Thank you.
Looks really great from up here, if you get a chance to come up. Our CS, our peers, board chair, distinguished guests, people of high levels. If I go into the list, it's very long, and therefore all protocols observed. It's very satisfying, especially when we see some of the fruits of the hard work that we've put over the last few years. We started the Innovation Agency barely 4 years ago, but the results are commendable. That's just a glimpse of what we've achieved. In the recent past, we were recognized as the most progressive innovation agency in Africa, providing a lot of potential for next generation of society. So I'm going to give you a slightly higher level of how we try to put all these things together and why you're all in this room. So you will notice that in our short presentation, we speak about the Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award, we speak about the Innovation Week, and we speak about the AfCFTA Symposium. All these things are building into a greater participation of our young people in the African continent and leveraging the markets that already exist. So we exist to try and enhance innovation for socioeconomic development. And so we have ways of measuring this, designing and conceptualizing, leveraging as many partnerships as we can, try and get the results that we desire. We've got tracks of different initiatives with the universities, with TVETs, with general public, the youth out there. We've got a range of programs, including how we measure our progress. And you'll get a snapshot of that in a little while. So this journey is anchored on a presidential initiative of a 10-year innovation master plan, trying to paint a picture, where could we be 10 years down the road as a result of very specific interventions, very well structured, systematic, and professionally executed. So this master plan provides us a framework. So late last year, the head of state was kind enough to launch this master plan, and it has a set of foundational pillars and how they build up towards that particular goal of a globally competitive environment that ensures we generate jobs and wealth for our people. Now, right at the bottom there are the inputs that we are concentrating on. As an innovation agency, not working alone, but with a range of partners. Now, at the base there, we're interested in the issues of human capital, the skills that people need to innovate and create solutions, whether it's from research, whether it's providing appropriate policies, whether it's by designing, or whether it's by building startups or attracting funding, and so on and so forth. The range of skills is wide, including management of intellectual property. Secondly, we're very interested in the issue of access to finance. Many a times I get the conversations with people and say there is not enough funding, while others believe there is sufficient funding. The question is, do you have the skills to access it? Now, I've been involved in a recent report which has a lot of funding, and it seems like people just don't know about that. That's the second pillar. The third pillar is around infrastructure, or rather access to market. So if we build innovations that make sense, how do they access the market? And here comes the conversation about AfCFTA. This must build all the way to global markets. And so the student or the young person building an idea must be able to have a horizon of how far they could possibly go. And then four is around infrastructure, the tools that they need to actually deliver, whether it's labs, whether it's technology transfer offices, whether it is incubation centers, and so on and so forth. And finally is a policy that convenes all this together. So let me tell you what we've done the last 1 year alone, just building on the master plan that we launched late last year. We know that it is an ecosystem conversation. It's not about an innovation agency trying to fix everything. It's about how many players we can bring together in a very systematic and structured way. So these are the 5 pillars that we're working on. Start with human capital. We've built relationships with as many partners as you can see right across. Come to access to finance as we move to markets and so on and so forth. And it's amazing what different partners are bringing into the table. I can't go into explaining each of these, but I'll give you a snapshot. Classic example, we've established a partnership with British Council around building capacity of institutional leaders in universities, TVETs, and research centers to build their entrepreneurial leadership capacity. We're not asking them to become entrepreneurs, but we're asking them to be effective entrepreneurial leaders. Next week, we're taking 14 vice chancellors to India just to immerse themselves on what other countries are doing and how they're becoming better entrepreneurial leaders, leveraging a partnership with British Council. I'll give you another snapshot. EAVCA, this is the network of angel investors and VCs in East Africa. Huge pool, accessing lots and lots of funding, but probably it's not connecting to the rest of the people who need to know. So we've established a collaboration to expose this funding infrastructure to our innovators. Next is AfCFTA, and part of why we're here. Look, we need to keep demystifying this concept of AfCFTA so people can explore the opportunities across the continent. Next, I'll give you a snapshot about the Ministry of ICT, and we've got some partners already from the ministry. 2 directors came in. It's about leveraging the infrastructure that is growing. When we talk about Jitume hubs that are being established across the country, how well do the young people exploit this for purposes of building innovations that matter? The other one that we just signed an agreement is IDRC to set up a regional network of innovation hubs in Africa. The point is, we have to learn from one another, and we have to keep strengthening each other's capacity across the region. Like I said, I can't go through all of the partnerships, but that gives you a snapshot. So here we are, the Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award, as an example of a bold initiative that we put together Look, the key thing here is about tackling bold challenges in our society. That's what we really are trying to do, leveraging the Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award. And what you will see, we've gone through a set of categories of awardees of the first round. We've only just done a pilot. And then what we've done in phase one is to identify, build capacity, expose, and try to get them out there. Our second phase is to deploy and scale. And so this is why the AfCFTA conversation becomes relevant. For all the 30 innovators that you will see with their booths there, it's about trying to think now, how do you scale beyond here into a broader market? The other initiative is that we convene very strongly, an example of an initiative, and I can't exhaust them. We organize on an annual basis the universities to gather together and research centers and look into the efforts that they must put in place to enhance the entrepreneurial competitiveness of their own institution, and then cumulatively, that makes Kenya an amazing country. SEAL Summit, Commercialization and Entrepreneur Institution Leaders Summit. And thanks to the government and the leadership that is supporting this effort, a lot of institutions are changing their game and moving up the value chain. Another example is about the Kenya Innovation Week, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Over the last 3 years, we've been building momentum around getting the ecosystem excited about the role they have to play at individual level and how they fit in the broader ecosystem of innovation. So this year, we will be at the Kenya Innovation Week, 25th to the 29th of November. This is an Africa edition, and that's why the engagement around the AfCFTA become extremely relevant. We're also interested about how we position and rank and build the systems that we need to be globally more competitive. And now we've started putting a lot of attention on the Global Innovation Index. We haven't been doing a very good job in data mobilization, and we will be very systematic over the next couple of years to enhance that we collect and report appropriately and look at the areas that we need to intervene a lot more appropriately. So you see the 10 most innovative countries in the world. Now Kenya is in there, all right? But we have a goal under the 10-year Innovation Master Plan to at least get to the top 50, because last I checked, we were somewhere around number 96, largely because data wasn't mobilized very well. If you look at the things the Global Innovation Index tracks, institutions, human capital, infrastructure, market sophistication, business sophistication, scientific outputs, and creative outputs, it speaks to what we're trying to do within our 10-year Innovation Master Plan. Another classic example of another initiative we are unveiling next year is the work that we do across sectors. So we've got to be very intentional that it's not innovation as a general term, but it's very specific how we build innovations in sectors. So if it is healthcare, the interventions that may be needed there may be a little different from somebody who's trying to build work in space or somebody who's doing some work in ICT. So new year, there's going to be a lot of work across different sectors, and we're looking to work with as many partners as possible. This is an example of demonstrating how strategic we are. Every intervention has to feed into our master plan. So if I say the Presidential Innovation Award, it's speaking to the human capital issues, access to finance and access to market. And then if we have a Kenya Innovation Week, it's got to speak to very specific, so that when we design the programs, is intentional and deliberate. So here, this Presidential Innovation Award, these are the winners of last year, and the head of state was gracious enough to host them and encourage and inspire them. And we're looking for partners that we can work together to scale this kind of initiative. We spend time sourcing for innovative ideas, showcasing them, recognizing them, and supporting them that they can scale. And look, this is the result as an aggregate of the first pilot that we did last year. Look at the kind of funding that we allocated. We injected about 70 million thanks to the Sports Fund and the Ministry for supporting this initiative, and this is really government-led. As a way of proving the concept and then find ways of leveraging our partnerships to scale this initiative. We had over 270 applicants. We ended up narrowing down after a very heavy sieving process to only 30 counties. So congratulations to the 30 candidates who found their way into this as winners representing different counties. Now, over time, a number of them have scaled significantly. They received 8 months of support from exceptional coaches, mentors, and trainers. And Yvonne is a classic example representing over 15 mentors from private sector, because we strongly believe that scaling of innovative ideas is really going to depend on how well private sector gets involved. They understand the language. And look, we worked on 5 sectors, and hopefully we're going to scale that in the new year. We have insights, very specific insights of how partners can get involved in this program. You're in private sector, you're in development space, you're from another country. There are ways that we can actually work together. It could be whether it's market research. For guys who already have ideas in certain markets and you're interested in that area, you can give input, or you can support workshops or training, or you could be part of an acceleration program, or you could actually offer co-working space to an innovator, or you could very easily provide technological support, and so on and so forth. So we invite you to engage with us, that we identify ways of supporting these kind of guys. So the Innovation Week coming up between 25th and 29th of this year, our CS is very passionate about this space, and he made a commitment that he will do his part at cabinet level to rally stakeholders behind this. We call it an Africa edition this year, and it's largely because we're trying to demonstrate, one, that Kenya plays a very crucial role in the African context, and it's an example, it's a model that we can look up to. This year, for example, Kenya did very well in attracting foreign direct investment for innovation, for startups, better than any other country in Africa. So there is an example that we can give. Secondly, is that we can exploit the markets as well, collectively. So welcome to the Kenya Innovation Week 2024, Africa edition. There's a range. We've worked over the years. You'll see 2021, 2022, 2023. We have tracked our progress and the areas of focus on an annual basis, and we are seeing where we can add more and more value, and you will see a difference in the 2024 edition based on the experiences that we've had. You can participate in a range of ways. You could organize a side event, because we are not claiming to know everything as an innovation agency. No, we leverage our partnerships. So you could be involved in organizing a side event, participating in a panel, exhibit something, do a pre-event, rally stakeholders. You don't even have to host your activity in the Innovation Week itself as a venue. You could actually organize in a different location in the city or the country. Remember, our goal is that it's an Innovation Week organized by Kenya, championed by the government, and the future seers is that when we go to an Innovation Week, the whole world thinks about Kenya. That's our ultimate goal. Everybody rallies. All counties participate and organize activities across the country, leveraging that momentum, and we build a lot of attention from the rest of the globe. So, these are the partners we've worked so far with on the Innovation Week, and we're looking to scale. And we know in the room there are several who have already made commitments. I'll confirm to you, CS, we've got a range of partners who've signed up for the 2024, adding different kind of value, and I see some of them in the room already. We've got several universities, private sector, tech, startups, and so on and so forth. And with that in mind, we've got already a program that is designed specifically describing how we'll run the 5 days. Very enriching. You choose from the menu where to participate, because you can't be in every single thing that will be out there. Lastly is this AfCFTA. So with the leadership of the CS, we've agreed that we kind of try to synergize the two. After all, we're speaking about the same subject to the same audience. If it's an Africa edition, leveraging the infrastructure of the AfCFTA, we will try to get as many of partners across the African context to engage with us. They will be bringing delegates from different countries, heads of institutions, that then we can synergize more for a stronger AfCFTA ecosystem. We've looked at the program of the AfCFTA, which is already now in draft and shaping up the issues they want to look at. This is the theme, leveraging action for a full integration of youth in trade. It's about the youth and the trade across the entire ecosystem. So what does that then mean? They've actually identified a range of topics that we'll be looking at. Examples, the African Bloggers Panel. Just think about that, African Bloggers Panel. Or the issues of African textile. And so there's a wide range of ideas that we'll be exploring together at the AfCFTA Symposium. With that, I invite all of you, let's partner for a stronger innovation ecosystem in Africa. Thank you very much. We've sustained this momentum, and we see how far we're going. Thank you for the visionary chair.
Our guest of honor this morning, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Youth Affairs, Sports and Creative Economy, Mr. Ismail Maalim Madey, Principal Secretary, State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, honorable ambassadors and heads of delegations that are present here today, CEOs of various public and private organizations, my dear CEO of the Kenya National Innovation Agency, board members present, our esteemed partners, the beneficiaries of the Presidential Innovation Award, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning again. On behalf of the board and the staff of the Kenya National Innovation Agency, allow me once more to welcome all of you to this meeting dedicated to Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award Closer, to celebrate the journey we have traveled so far with respect to this award and to launch the call for 2024-2025 Presidential Innovation Award. The Presidential Innovation Award, as you all may remember, was launched the year 2023, and this culminated in the actual award of the winners taking place in November during the third edition of the Kenya Innovation Week. On behalf of the board, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister and your ministry for the financial support we received through the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund to enable us to implement this program. All of you are aware that the Kenya National Innovation Agency has a very, very crucial mandate of ensuring and implementing the Science, Technology and Innovation Act 2013. And we have a clear vision of ensuring that we develop the innovation ecosystem in this country, and through that, therefore, innovation to become a key enabler of socio-economic development of our country, while the mission is to develop and manage a very dynamic national innovation system that catalyzes job creation, particularly job creation for the youth and women, and as well as creating wealth. To contribute to this vision and mission, the Kenya National Innovation Agency launched a strategic plan last year for 2023-2027, in which we are pursuing 5 strategic themes, namely commercialization system, startup ecosystem, institutional capacity development, policy and regulatory framework, and the promotion and creation of awareness around innovation. Commercialization and startup ecosystem are really the main thrust of our strategic direction. And with the other 3, as well as funding as a means of realizing this thrust. The Presidential Innovation Award is therefore our flagship project that targets innovation from both startup ecosystem as well as from those from universities, research organizations, and TVET. We strongly believe that through this initiative, as well as other initiatives that we are currently pursuing, will effectively contribute towards the development of a very, very strong innovation ecosystem in this country. Allow me, therefore, to mention that apart from the strategic plan 2023-2027, our activities are also being guided by the 10-year Kenya Innovation Master Plan that has been briefly mentioned by my able CEO, which was launched last year by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya. We as a board, we are very, very delighted with the positive response that we have received from our partners in the implementation of this master plan. And we want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you for all the partners that have been engaged with us and have shown their readiness really to contribute in one way or the other to ensure that the 10-year Innovation Master Plan is effectively implemented. And as a key deliverable, one of the key deliverables that we have prioritized in the master plan is the development of a national intellectual property policy and strategy for the country and, and strategy for the country. And we are very, very delighted, ladies and gentlemen, to report that through the support of the World Intellectual Property Organization, the formulation of this policy and strategy is currently ongoing. And key Kenyan institutions responsible for innovation and creativity in this country are involved. They include the Kenya National Innovation Agency, the Kenya Industrial Property Institute, the Kenya Copyright Board, and the Kenya Anti-Counterfeit Agency, as well as Plant Breeders Office and KEFIS. I'm very delighted, Honorable CS, to mention that among the key achievements that have been identified through the situation analysis that have been undertaken to formulate this intellectual property policy is actually the launch of the Presidential Innovation Award that is really being recognized as among really the key activities and achievements. And we are very delighted as a country that Kenya is among very, very few countries in this continent that are having such award. And more importantly, also to mention and laud the Kenya government for having established a fund for the creative sector, particularly the sports and social development fund. Because again, here, innovation and creativity is really very, very important, and such a fund will go a long way in ensuring that we are able to commercialize the creative outputs of our people, particularly the youth. And with those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my my pleasure to invite our peers, Mr. Ismail Maalim, to come and also give his remarks and thereafter continue the program. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
The Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sport, Mheshimiwa Kipchumba Murkomen, Your Excellency, Ambassadors and High Commissioners present with us here this morning, the Board and Management of Kenya National Innovation Agency, led by Professor Tom Ogada, the CEOs and other senior government officials, our dear partners, my fellow innovators, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before maybe I make my remarks, Waziri, allow me to recognize some of our ambassadors and high commissioners and the representative of various missions in the House this morning. We have His Excellency Ambassador Jibril of Somalia. We have His Excellency Atia of Egypt. We have His Excellency Mahi of Algeria. We have His Excellency Anwar of Tunisia. We have His Excellency Mahalangu of South Africa. We have His Excellency Abilio of Angola. We have His Excellency Bubara of the Sudan. We also have representatives from various missions. We have Kola from Cameroon. We have Mohammed Ilmi of Djibouti. We have Muzalia of DRC. We have Marus from the state of Eritrea. Waziri, we also have representatives from some of the UN agencies as our partners who are also in the House. We have Sharon from International Organization for Migration. We have Caroline Njoki of this International Labour Organization. We have Canilo from UN Habitat, and we have Rono from UNEP. We also have a representative from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led by our very able ambassador, His Excellency Masila. We also have a representative from Ministry of Trade and representative from Ministry of Trade, Madam Lucy Komen, who is the CEO, Warehouse Receipt Council, and our other partners across different sectors. We recognize all of you. If for one reason or the other I mispronounced your name, please forgive me. It's nothing intentional. And if I did not or I haven't read or recognized your name here, please, we recognize each and every one of you. Thank you very much for coming this morning. Before maybe I say a word or two, let me invite Ambassador Sianga of Angola to make a statement on behalf of the Excellency Ambassadors and the High Commissioners. Karibu sana, Ambassador Sianga, please.
Thank you very much. I just have been asked to stand on behalf of the Dean, which is not present here. But if I wish I knew this yesterday, I could prepare one-page speech to deliver. Just coming from New York, where we participate on the UNGA General Assembly. And I did participate in the Summit of the Future. The Summit of the Future, we were debating what are the multilateral solutions for the future. So what I'm finding here is exactly what Kenya vision is. And before I proceed, let me recognize some important people here. Honorable Kip Shumba Mokomen. I hope I'm pronouncing it very well. He's a CS Minister of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sport. Dr. Tony Omuanzo, CEO, Kenya. Mr. Ismail Malim, PS, Minister of Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. So, what I was going to say is exactly solution for the future. What are the standards? What are the appropriate policy? Which kind of infrastructure? How we are going to address the future without leaving no one behind. So, CEO was presenting a top 10 innovator in the world. And CEO say, I don't find Kenya name there. What I'm saying, I didn't find any African country in those top 10. So I just want you to understand that we are here as ambassador. As I don't recognize everybody, but I did recognize just now my brother from Algeria, who is now leading, is the chairman of African group on the multilateral group. As you know, Kenya is the only one country, South Global, which we have UN office with those two important programs, environment and human settlement, which is UN Habitat. And when we talk about environment, one of important aspects for the future is energy transition, how we are going to transit on energy. And Africa, we have all the resources, green resources needed for this transition. So when we are thinking in terms of innovation, think also of what we have as the resources in Africa. We were not the one who were causing the problem that the world is facing in terms of pollution. The sea level is high today. Most of those islands countries, they are suffering. But why? Because of the way we are polluting. Those, you know always what when it comes to gas effect. So innovation is important to not only try to find solution for those, but generate job creation, wealth for the people. So I just want to say that as ambassador, we will use our position to share this Kenya Innovation Master Plan with our capitals. So then we can have the opportunity also to be part of those partnerships. Thank you very much.
I would like to also recognize UNEDO representative to Kenya, Eritrea, Comoros, Seychelles, and South Sudan, Madam Talia Einav, and your team, and all other partners who I may not have mentioned their name. From the onset, I would like to bring our attention to the fact that Africa is a very young nation, not by age but by population. And that means the largest segment of our population across Africa is young people. And the young people now require a leadership, a support from our respective government. Our intention to bring all of us here together this morning, and thank you very much for joining us. It's indeed a pleasure to be amongst all of you here this morning through the presentations that were done here in the morning. I believe we have all been converted to now innovators and forward thinkers. Therefore, we have two major upcoming events mentioned here by the CEO. The AfCFTA Youth Symposium and the Kenya Innovation Week, Africa edition. These two events are happening at the same time. We are collaborating with the AfCFTA Secretariat to make sure we produce one of the best innovation weeks for Africa in November. So we asked our Excellency ambassadors and high commissioners here this morning so that you be now the ambassadors of the two events in your respective countries so that we have the support for the young people. You have seen the innovators who showcased what they do here this morning are all representative of the young population that we are all made of as the continent. And therefore, we really urge and request each and every one of you to collaborate because we know what collaboration can do for all of us, so that when the young people join and participate in this kind of symposiums or the conferences or forums that we do, like the Kenya Innovation Week and the AfCFTA Symposium, they can share ideas. They can, exchange ideas on how we can really support the continent because this is our home and now they are our future. We must come forward and give them the support that they all require from each and every one of our member countries. And that's actually the main reason why we have asked you to join us this morning. And the event is only for a month and few weeks away, and we don't have a lot of time to mobilize and, the innovators from our respective nations to come and participate. It's going to be an eye-opener for each and every one of the young innovators, let me say, who are going to participate in this forum, the symposium, and the Innovation Week. So please let us give them the support that they would require. My boss is here and he will speak more about what we need to do together. And please allow me to take the pleasure in welcoming Honorable CS to come and give us his remarks. Karibu sana waziri.
Thank you very much, PS. Your Excellency, ambassadors and High Commission and representative of various embassies here in Nairobi, our PS, the chair of the Board of Innovation Agency, the CEO, and the wonderful innovators who are represented here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. This should be a very lively session because about innovation and creativity. So I don't want you to be, although I think most of you are woken up too early, so you are still working very hard to wake up. And I am really very excited to join you here today in this pivotal event as we conclude the Presidential Innovation Challenge Award Accelerator Program of 2023-2024. The cohort who are here, and more importantly, as we officially launch the call for innovation and startup to join the Presidential Innovation Challenge of 2024 and 2025. I am also delighted that we have gathered to strategize and co-create the Kenya Innovation Week 2024, dubbed the Africa Edition, which will feature a youth symposium with partnership with the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. It's actually supposed to be the other way around, yeah? Yes, AfCFTA, sorry. Somebody who added another T. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first speak to Presidential Innovation Challenge. The Presidential Innovation Award is part of the initiative by the ministry insofar as the flagship project Talanta Hela is concerned, which aims to monetize youth talent, creativity, and innovation. Through the Presidential Innovation Awards, we are able to identify, incubate, and commercialize the most promising innovations in the country. I am proud of the impressive achievement of the Presidential Innovative Awards cohort of 2023-2024, which you saw yourselves here. There were a total of 279 applications, and 30 of which were deemed successful innovators, as we've been told. Among these, 13 startups have successfully commercialized their innovations, contributing significantly to key sectors such as climate action, green energy, digital transformation, healthcare, food security, and agriculture, and entertainment and gaming. My ministry, through Kenya, allocated funds to startup, and over the course of the 8 months, provided these innovators with robust technical support, including mentorship and business development services. As you've seen it in the presentation that was given here, my predecessor, working together with the peers and the ministry and the agency, did a fantastic job to support this very important initiative that finally has borne fruit in terms of the innovators that we have seen today. And I really want to say that the part of putting the innovators with the mentors is extremely important. I want to thank the mentees and the mentors for coming together, working together as a team to make sure that we have a successful program. I also want to say that if you look at the ranking that was given here about innovation in the world, unfortunately, we don't feature as much as we should as Africa. We pride ourselves of having the youngest population in the world. That means then we should have more innovation. And if you look at the countries that have been ranked, from Sweden, all of them in Europe, but also in the US, you will realize something very interesting is that these innovations are marked by first protection of intellectual property. As a student of IP myself, and Sharon is here, we used to be, in our earlier days in the university, very passionate about intellectual property. I don't know how she found herself in migration and myself in politics. But if you talk about which country is more innovative, it's marked by which country protects intellectual property more. We are a country that is almost like open source. And in the continent, we don't put a lot of effort in protecting people's ideas and innovation. As a result of that, many of the innovators don't feel like they are secure. If you look at the countries being ranked higher, it's because the intellectual property is being protected. And therefore, the role of ARIPO, of course, starting from WTO, if you come from up, down, from WTO, from WIPO, to also all the way to ARIPO, and then to our intellectual property institutions in the country, it's extremely important that the innovators that presented their presentations here and those who won, we must assure them of the protection of their innovations, whether as IP or as trademarks, if we are going to make the country to succeed in terms of this. And the continent, we must be conscious. We know the history of Africa and why intellectual property is not so much of an issue. It's because we were a society that was open to share ideas under a tree. And nobody owned anything because it was communally owned. But in a competitive commercial society, we must accept as a continent and as a country that we must put a lot of effort in protecting intellectual property. We are going to have our young people to be more innovative. You also see the very close link between human capital training and research. And more importantly, if you look at the ranking that is done, you realize that there is a closer link between the universities and the industry. And if we don't also put a lot of effort in terms of education institutions, we have had this discussion with Tony here, Dr. Tony, as to where exactly Kenyan Innovation Agency should it be. Should it be in education, or to be in youth, or in sports, or in industry, or trade? But what is important about the ministry that we are in is that we are a cross-cutting ministry of young people. And young people denotes innovation. And young people are found in university institutions. So there is that cross-cutting collaboration. If you see the ranking, you'll be told that Cambridge in the UK is top, followed by San Jose in San Francisco because of Google, and then the rest of everything else is around a university. Yet in our continent, and particularly in our country here, we have a very weak connection between the university and industry. In fact, we still spend, most of our universities still focus on theory. And I'm happy that we are making progress as a country. When I visited Dedan Kimathi University sometime early this year, I was very impressed to see the connection between what they are doing in the tech sector and the industry itself, and why it's trying to pride itself as a place where we are going to do the microchips and so forth. So if we have to go somewhere also as a continent, I think it's important to have this connection between the university and the industry. And more importantly, we need to make sure that as a continent, we support commercialization and trading in services and goods and services, as has been shown here. Now, why was it important for us to have the ambassadors be here, and why did we have to put together the AfCFTA symposium and the conversation about innovation? If indeed we are going to resolve the problem of where will these young people go, and as Ambassador said earlier about the future, where is the future of our young people? How are we going to tap into this potential that we have in the young people? We must think about removing the barriers, both tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers, that block our young people from moving from one country to another. In any case, even with blocking alone now in the continent, there is no barrier. Something that happens in Kenya, if Gen Zs are in the streets in Kenya, it's quickly just going to be picked in another country. It doesn't matter the fact that you put a big wall somewhere saying, oh, you are now entering Kenya. But there are people who can enter Kenya digitally without your permission. So the most important thing is to facilitate in Africa a more closer interaction between and among young people to make sure that they are able to exchange ideas and collaborate. And more importantly, let's also allow capital to flow from one country to another. Let someone who comes from Tunisia or Algeria or from South Africa and they have the money, or Nigeria or Angola for that matter, just to mention a few countries, let them, if they find the innovation that was shared here by one of the agencies on farming, if they find it commercially viable, let us open the doors for them to bring their capital and invest in this innovation, and make sure that then this innovation can be able to assist and help the continent and make sure that it's beneficial. And this can only be commercialized well if the innovation owners know that their intellectual property has been recognized, registered, both in their country and in the region. Therefore, they are secure. As they go around seeking for capital, they know that no one will replicate their technology without any permission because it is protected by IP. So there is interconnectivity in terms of the issues that I've raised. We also need to ensure that these barriers are broken by ourselves, and to allow our young people, as I've said, to interact in all sectors to make sure that we grow. I really still wonder, sorry, because of my few years as a teacher in the university, I only taught for 5 years, so I'm still nostalgic about the years I taught in the university. I still wonder why in this continent it is not easy for me to finish my high school education here and be admitted in Makerere University or in Alexandria in Egypt, or in Pretoria or in Abidjan. Why should it be that for me to get an admission to a university in Europe, it's easier than to get an admission into a university within the continent? Even the knowledge alone to know which is the best university I can go in Senegal is not even there. But we all know the best university to go in Europe or US or Canada. It's something we need to think about. How can we make greater interaction in terms of education and the institutions of education in the continent? And therefore, this can only be done if we are publicizing and publishing information about the best institutions in the continent where this can be done. So as we launch today the PIA Presidential Innovative Awards for the 2024-2025 cohort. I'm proud to know that this year we will be expanding the program even further. Innovators from across Kenya can apply. Youth category, which suits our school youth. University category, which is tailor-made for university students. Mature startups category, which features established startups that have been in operation for not less than 5 years and offer innovative products or services. Or research and commercialization category, which is a special category for senior researchers and academics in our academic institutions. I call upon innovative youth, researchers, and startup founders to submit their application through Kenya website. I also want to ask Dr. Tony here, Mwansa, that let's also have another discussion of how to make sure that what you are doing here, until I came to this ministry, I didn't know that there was such very good work being done by the ministry and Kenya Innovation Agency. So meaning we need a little bit of more publicity to make sure that more people can participate in this very important venture. Allow me to commend you, Kenya, for successfully guiding this program from the initial baby steps to take off in record time. I believe that we will work together as a ministry to support and finance this very important sector. So congratulations to all of you who have done a good job. Please let's clap for them. And please, I look forward to by next year or in 2 or 3 years, we are coming here to report how much capital you have attracted from investors. Don't hold on to yourselves like this and say, this is my beautiful thing. The best, you all know because you are in that sector, especially those of you in tech, that in Silicon Valley, people create ideas and then they sell it. I actually lost my point when I was talking about the universities earlier. My point was the reason why those countries, sorry, I forgot to say this, the reason why those countries are succeeding is because they are receptive to migration. Okay? So some of the best innovators are not originally from their own countries. They are actually open doors through their universities to take our best brains to Silicon Valley, to Cambridge, to other places. Then they become researchers and they are owned and they are quickly given citizenship. When we are still busy avoiding one person to cross from here to go to Somalia or vice versa, yeah, we are blocking ourselves and saying, no one should come to our country. But these people are very sharp. Actually, many countries that have succeeded in innovation are beneficiaries of migration. And we need to open doors as a continent. I don't know, what is this we are closing from ourselves? At most cases, we are only protecting poverty. You know, everybody's saying, I want to take care of my poverty. No. But if we allowed this interaction of ideas and movement of goods and services, perhaps we will make our continent grow more and grow better, you know? Why should we be ready to get better contractors from, I had a conversation with the ambassador of Egypt the other day. Why are we not seeing contractors from Egypt doing roads in Kenya? But it's easy to see a contractor from another place. I don't want to mention them. I've been in trouble before. From another country, easily coming to do roads here. Yeah? And why can't we see Kenyan innovators also move the other way around to other countries? I wanted to emphasize that point, that migration and allowing internal migration within the continent can also give a chance to these young people to go and interact and start business. I have seen a few tech innovators from Nigeria who are operating from Nairobi here, and we've seen their ideas also be incorporated here, and that's the only way we can move from one place to another. The second agenda this morning is the Kenya Innovation Week, which is the 2024 edition. The Kenya Innovation Week is a flagship innovation forum for the country run by the ministry through Kenya. It seeks to convene key stakeholders to assess, celebrate,
and energize the progress of the national innovation ecosystem. This year's edition, which is Kenya Innovation Week 2024, is an African edition. It is dedicated to Africa. As we said before, we've had a similar edition, but working with Commonwealth. Today, this edition next month is about Africa, and it's scheduled to take place on 25th to 29th of November. I'm happy to know that the Kenya Innovation Week has grown in leaps and bounds since it was muted 3 years ago. In 2022, His Excellency the President, while launching the second Kenya Innovation Week, pledged to ensure that we mobilize government to transform the Kenya Innovation Week into an international festival which attracts global participation. He has fulfilled this promise. The President fulfilled this promise last year when we brought together the Commonwealth on board, and this year we are doing the same by making sure that Africa is on board. This growth underscores the government's continued endeavor to push for creative solutions to address an employment challenge in our country. I am therefore calling upon young innovators, creative minds, entrepreneurs, investors, and stakeholders to join us from November 25th to 29th at the Age Convention Center here in Nairobi, where Africa's brightest minds will gather to co-create, innovate, and imagine the future. Together with this agenda is our agenda for African Continental Free Trade Area Youth Symposium 2024, which is merging together with our Innovation Week. As you may be aware, AfCFTA is one of the flagship projects of the African Union Agenda 2063, that is the Africa we want. The core objective is to reduce trade barriers in order to accelerate inter-Africa trade. We are greatly honored as a country to host the second edition of the AfCFTA Youth Symposium on Trade in collaboration with the Secretariat. The symposium is aimed at fostering dialogue, collaboration, and knowledge exchange among young entrepreneurs, innovators, and stakeholders across the continent. Our country today, therefore, is in a critical step towards delivering a successful symposium that not only highlights the immense potential of youth, but also position them as key players in African economic growth. One of the most exciting aspects of the symposium will be the Wall of Africa Textile Fashion Show, which aligns seamlessly with the broader objective of Kenya Innovation Week. It's a remarkable opportunity to showcase how young entrepreneurs can turn our continent's rich cultural heritage into innovative business ventures. By merging tradition with modern entrepreneurship, we can tap into economic potential of sectors like fashion and textile, propelling the youth-led trade and enterprise across the continent. Additionally, I am particularly eager to participate in this session on the nexus between the AfCFTA and the sports industry. Kenya is globally renowned for its sporting prowess, and through the AfCFTA, we can unlock even more opportunities, not just for us, but the entire African continent. I think I have said this. The good thing is that this ministry is both sports and youth, and I can't even emphasize even further this. We had a meeting this week with the Commonwealth associations, federation, in terms of sports federation. And Africa, for the first time, is meeting with Europe in one meeting in Mombasa, which has just ended. And one of the things I really thought is that as a continent, we haven't really thought sports as a business. We all know that sports is a service, and service can be traded. That is why players are traded, the fact that you buy a player from this team to the other, especially in soccer or football for that matter. But as a continent, very few countries have really turned around the sports to be a business. We still do it as for fun and for purpose of bringing glory to the country. But we do not think about bringing glory to the pockets of the athletes. And we haven't really gone further to see how we can attract investments insofar as sports is concerned.
as a continent, this is an area we really need to have strong conversation about how can we build sports as a business. How can we attract capital in terms of building sports facilities? How can we have also had discussions as a country with NBA, and we want to see more investments here in the area of basketball. But there are many, many other areas that we can invest in cycling, in boxing, in athletics. In Kenya, we depend so much on the personal initiative and hard work of the athletes. But we can do and produce more athletes in this country if we have more investments. And we need to open doors, again, for ourselves as a continent to have those who have the capital come and invest in the sports and make money from it and ensure that the athletes make money. But we still do stadiums for ourselves. We government-owned stadia across the continent instead of being owned by football clubs or sports clubs because we have not turned around sports into business. And I hope and look forward to a continent where many of these great men and women, young people in this continent can earn more from sports, and sports can employ as many people, and more technology and innovation can be seen in the area of sports. So by reducing trade barriers, we can encourage a cross-border collaboration, create more platforms for athletes, sports organizations, and even funds to engage with their counterparts across the continent. I really hope that one day we'll have a continent where instead of me saying I support Manchester United in Premier League, I should be saying I am a Zamalek fan, or I am a fan of Orlando Pirates, or I am a fan of Al Ahly, and so forth and so forth. And to have people from other countries saying I am a Gor Mahia fan, or I am a fan of AFC Leopards, or I heard somebody saying, you can't mention Gor Mahia without the AFC Leopards from the other corner. I can almost guess where you come from. Because our clubs also are community clubs, and which have a very strong, the only clubs that have survived over time is because they have their community support. So AfCFTA will provide new ventures for sponsorship, talent development, and expanding the reach of sports as a unifying force in Africa. And I'm saying this when we, as Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, are hosting Africa Cup of Nations together. And this is something that makes me extremely, extremely proud to see that as a continent, we are opening that barrier to make sure that even more than one country can host international events. Finally, let's not forget the role of digital technology, which will be also in the spotlight through the African Bloggers Panel. This panel will showcase how young Africans can utilize digital platforms to facilitate intertrade, particularly in the small and medium-sized enterprises. Digital technology has revolutionized how we do business, and through blogging and content creation, we can foster awareness and action that empower the youth and the women in trade. As we prepare for the symposium, I am calling upon everyone to think critically about how we can foster deeper collaboration, not just within our countries, but across the entire African continent. Our discussion today will be a key in shaping a dynamic and impactful event. Together, let's continue to drive African innovation agenda and economic transformation. Once again, I really want to thank the Excellency ambassadors and high commissioners and representatives of various agencies, multilateral and national agencies who are here for really coming this morning and honoring us to be with us today, to have this conversation together, to listen to the ideas that we have here, and to prepare and plan together for the symposium, and look forward to having a very successful symposium next month and a greater collaboration as a continent to make sure that we break all the barriers that have inhibited trade and interaction among our people across this very beautiful and very young continent with great potential. I thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Right. So thank you so much, Waziri, for the very inspiring remarks and for acknowledging that you can go off script and still inspire these people. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump into the exciting part of the morning. But before we do that, I would like us to get a little bit social. So, just get into your pocket, find your phone, take a selfie. You can do this. We won't judge you. Just take whatever is in your pocket, do a selfie, and push it on social media. We are live on YouTube, but most importantly, tag Kenya, the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, all the stakeholders, and make sure you know who is seated next to you. Tag them. The socials are that for X, we are at Kenya Updates. For the ministry handle, we are at Moyasa and State Department for Youth Affairs as well. So please make sure you get a photo. And later in the day, um, if you look at my far right, there is a rotating photo booth over there. Make sure you also get something interesting for your Instagram and for your TikTok, for those who are live on TikTok or those who have platforms in that space. It's a cooler way to do photos. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about the 30 innovators that have been going through this journey, and it's time to give them something that they can go home with. Of course, they got the grant that has supported them do their work, but as they graduate, it's very important that we acknowledge and wish them well. And just to mention one of the most interesting things I've learned this morning is that for the period that we've been undertaking this incubation and acceleration program, some of them have gone ahead to become heroes. I want to make reference to one, Mr. Emmanuel Loro. If you can just stand, he's very tall, probably the second tallest person after Gen Z Goliath. And I mean, you all know what happens on 20th of October. We do have a national holiday coming up, Mashujaa Day. This gentleman, out of the work that he's doing on climate action, he hails from Turkana County, one of the farthest places in Kenya. He has been identified as a national hero by the National Heroes Council just because of the Presidential Innovation Award program that we're doing. And we are happy for the work you're doing around climate action and conserving the environment. So you can have a seat. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So we're now going to move into the section where we'll have the 30 innovators get their plex to go home with. And I will request to have Waziri issue these to 5 of them. Then we'll have the PS do other 5, the board chair will do other 5, the CEO other 5, and we'll continue as we go by. So for the innovators, I also encourage you to be on standby, and I will be reading them out, and then they'll be coming on stage to collect their plaques. So I will start from the top, and I'm welcoming Mr. James Nyamai from Makueni County to take his plaque on behalf of BioAfrica Energy Limited.
Can I vary your invitation here and seek for assistance? That the Ambassador Jibril, please join me, and Atia Balozi, Ambassador, is he here? Mr. Atia, Ambassador, or Ambassador Hanor Ben? Yeah, join me in giving out these awards.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And then I'll call another 2 ambassadors.
Perfect. Thank you. So next, Eli Savatia, please line up here so you all are ready. Proceed. Right here. So Eli Savatia, followed by Mary Ann from Agritech Analytics. And then Stephen Mashua on behalf of Pinkwan Spices. Right. Farmer Lifeline Technologies, Esther Kimani. Philip Nganda from Kitui County Rufits Autotech. Victor Mburu from Lamu County, Bevis, Africa.
Balozi, please come. You hand over some to, and also Ambassador Abilio. Please come. Let's do it together.
Right. So that's then prepare to come on stage. Victor Mburu, Bevis, Africa, from Kitui, Lamu, Kisumu County, Prima Face Mutua from Mtaka. Please just approach. From Kilifi County, Benjamin Bayer on behalf of Sewer Bleaching Chemicals Limited.
Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it.
So from Meru County, Kenton, Mudevia, that is banana fiber extraction product, that is Bafiex. From Kakamega County, Jack Olo, Waimbi.
Ambassador Gubara, are you here? And then, okay, Ambassador Bomadine Mahi, yeah, Mahi, sorry, of Algeria. Karibu. You're welcome.
Right. Then, as the list goes on,
do we have Juliet Kola representing Cameroon? Are you here? You're here, yes, Juliet. Please come. Followed by Mohamed Elmi representing Djibouti. Are you here? Yes, Karibu. And then Mr. Muzalia Mireli for DRC. Do we have it here? Okay, if not, then can I have, yeah, let's start with the two, then I'll come back again.
Right. Also inviting in front here, Jack Olo from Kakamega County on behalf of Waimbi. From Siaya County, Greenyam Energy. From Bungoma County, Fibertex Green Paper Limited. From Kericho County, Douglas Rono on behalf of Ron. Busia County, Peter Acheng, Jayit Creations. So please come on stage so you get your plaque the moment you're done with the rest.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty.
Can I have Unido rep? Please come. And then, how many more? And can I have Beryl from UN Habitat? Is she here? Yeah, please come together. And two more people. Dimanche Sharon. And then we have Sharon? Yes, please. I think that's all, right? Yes, I think that's all. That's enough.
Right, then upstanding, let's have a Grilla Enterprises coming forward from Machakos County, followed by Kisii County, Finda, could also be mistaken for Finder. All right. Very quickly. Then from Tharaka Nithi County, Abraham Karani, Green Waste Converters. From Wajir County, Leaf Life Innovation Hub. Right. From Nakuru County, Peter Kinywa on behalf of Eco Glass Innovations. Please come forward. Homa Bay County, Jackie. Turkana County, Leroy Manuel. Bomet County, adolescent and young people mental health champions. From Nyeri County, Victor Ndaba on behalf of Digital Farmer. From Nyandarua County, CAS Technologies. From Embu County, Akili Sawa. From Embu County, Akili Sawa. From Trans Nzoia County, Go Green by Blazing Berries Youth Coffee. From Kwale County, Marine Catch Africa Limited. From Isiolo County, Wafugaji Digital. Uasin Gishu County, Samuel Bob, kindly come forward. So for those who've already received their plaques, also be ready to come for one big group photo. So for those that will be receiving their plaques as the last batch, please remain around. So just take one big group photo, okay? Sawa.
Of the sun, I wanna feel it right inside me. Oh yeah, I wanna walk into the beat of the drum. I want my life to sound running. Oh yeah, we're together as one. We're all the same. Oh yeah, we're together as one. Let's celebrate and let the world know. We love Africa. We stand Mama Africa. We love Africa. From Africa to the world. We're gonna stay up turn the night into day. We're gonna get the world a party. Oh yeah. No matter where you're from, you're welcome to stay. We got enough for everybody. Oh yeah. We're together as one. We're all the same. Oh yeah. We're together as one.
Wakati digital. All right. So I want to call all the 30 innovators on stage. Come with your plaques. We do one group photo together with our partners. Happy to have the CEO of the Sports Arts and Social Development Fund around with us. So let's do one big group photo right here. To the media team, please just guide us on how we're going to do the group photo.
It's the kids, baby.
Ni leo, acha tu niwaweke wazi, mubaki na mishangao kuswa ya mapenzi, nataka kuyaeleza. Na leo tena waiteni paparazi, warushe kwa mitandao, siataki mapenzi, nataka jipongeza. Naimwita yo baby, kumbe naye na baby, oh ulimuna kipenzi, ni mshenza kupendi, ama kweli mtihani, mambo mengi dunia na mistresi siwezi, oh siwezi.
Bora ni John, maisha mafupi ni siku, yani nini tesekero, jiunge nami upozeko, bora ni John, maisha mafupi ni siku, yani nini tesekero, jiunge nami upozeko.
Kama kupenda bora nimpende mama yangu.
All right. Thank you so much. So, yeah, over there. So we still have lots of time to do group photos and lots of networking. But just before we do that, we've all agreed that we have to continue doing this. And one of the ways to do this is by unveiling the call for applications for innovators and startups to join the Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award program for the 2024-2025 edition. And I'm already joined with me here in stage, the CS and the chair, the PS. So the PS, the chair, the CEO of Kenya, and the CEO of Sports Fund and Social Development Fund. So I will now request them to step on my left. We do have a buzzer right here, right? So usifinya kwanza. So you will just come down. Okay, just 1 second. So I'm sorry, gentlemen. So let's put this on stage so it becomes a little bit easier. Right? So maybe at the center. Is it at the center? That's fine. Okay, perfect. So Waziri, sorry, you can just come on top. So what we're about to do, we're just about to unveil the portal that we will use to have submissions for the Presidential Innovation Award Challenge and Presidential Innovation Challenge and Award 2024-2025. So Waziri, you'll just press the buzzer, and then just press. Yako ni kufinya tu. Just press. Yeah, I'll let you know when you press. You'll press, and then we'll have what you're asking display here. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. So, on a count of 3, 2, 1, go. Right, perfect. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the call for innovations for the 2024-2025 Presidential Innovation Award Program is now live. We encourage all innovators, all researchers from different parts of the country to apply for the next cohort, which has a whole 4 categories. So go to pia.kenya.go.ke and make your submission. Please let this go out to everyone that you know is innovating and trying to create solutions through innovation. All right? Okay, thank you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic 2-hour morning that has seen us do lots of things, and we are happy that you joined us. I want to appreciate everyone that has made their time, woken up early in the morning to be here with us. We really don't take it for granted. And as we close, I would like to invite you to visit the photo booth over there. You have some cocktail tables. You can network. You can also get to hear from some of the innovators who will be at the cocktail tables talking about their innovations and their products. And most importantly, we want to thank members of the Forest State who've joined us this morning. We are going to have a quick press briefing, just to ensure that the word goes out to all the 47 counties and to the world out there. So for the members of the Forest State, please also be ready to set up just to grab any quick interview or any quick session that you might want. So ladies and gentlemen, though joined a little bit late by the CEO of the Sports and Social Development Fund, I would like to thank you also for honoring the invitation and also for being part of us. We are very happy to be a partner with you and for the support that you've accorded us over the years. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can close this with a word of prayer because we started it with a word of prayer. I would like to invite a volunteer, probably a lady, just to say the closing word of prayer. Anyone? Okay, who wants to be a chaplain? Right? Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Good morning. Shall we stand for a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we come before you this time. We say thank you for the great morning that you've given us, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the co-creation event that we've had on the PIA, on the Innovation Awards, Lord, on the symposium that we are planning for, Lord. Thank you for all the stakeholders that you've convened in this room, Lord. As we depart to our various official duties, Lord, I pray that you will see us through, Lord, and may you guide us throughout the entire day. And as we plan for everything that we have in mind, Lord, I'm praying that you may let the will be done. Guide us throughout the entire day, and may the will be done in our lives. In Jesus' name, I pray, trusting and believing. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. So the members of the Forest State have informed me that the media statement or interviews will be done from right here. So let's grab a few minutes, especially I think Waziri and the PS, yes, a few high commissioners, CEO, they might be